Hi everyone, welcome back to Endeavours for the 10th of May. I'm Jackson. We've got a 15 skill set. As always, there'll be timestamps in the description if you're just looking for one of these to do and you just want to skip through all the other stuff. So I just want to go through the Golden Vendor first because, yeah, some people like to do this sort of thing. I don't think there's anything worth this weekend. It's not like the weekend before where there's a bunch of other stuff. It's just gone back to the normal. It's two shoulder pieces. Both I wouldn't suggest buying just because, as shoulders are, it's just you can use keys to get any of them. You don't need any DLC for that sort of thing, so I wouldn't really suggest them. Neither for any of the jewelry. So Malibeth, this set is actually pretty good. It's basically just a selfish survival set. When you take damage, so it's easy to apply. Basically, especially in solo play, you're just going to be dealing with this all the time. 10% chance, it's okay chance. Could be better, but so it's a melee tether that applies a little bit of magic damage to the enemy, and then you heal for the damage caused. But the main thing that you get is Major Vitality, which increases your healing received and your damage shield strength by quite a margin. This thing, it used to be a lot better than it is now, but it's still okay. If you want to make it harder for yourself to get killed, it's pretty good. Because you don't need to be melee for this to be effective. It's just that the target has to be in melee for it to work. That's all. But yeah, when this thing activates, man, getting that Major Vitality, it can be quite good. But it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. I remember the days in like 2016, 2015. There was a build I used to run with Templars. It was like a time where I was first getting all my Alliance War stuff on, like my first healer and shit like that. And I ran this with two other sets. I ran it with Reactive, which back then it was a lot more powerful than this. It used to just basically, at all times, you'd get the damage taken reduction. And then I also ran it with Transmutation. So this one here. And these sets, all three of these sets together on like a melee Templar, you just wouldn't die. It's just impossible to get killed. So yeah, obviously it's good that they nerfed that, I suppose. But yeah, the golden days of this set I think are over. But if you want something that gives you a pretty damn good buff, which is Major Vitality, that is like easy to get your hands on, yeah, Malibeth for sure. But I wouldn't buy this for 100 grand, that's for sure. Spoiler Mafala. Biggest issues I have with this one is like I wouldn't even use this set regardless. Fully charged heavy attack, so it's not the greatest. Like if you're dealing damage, you don't want to be heavy attacking, like, and you don't really want to be heavy attacking on like certain time frames. So I just don't think that's worth it. It's also 4 meters, the area. That is fucking tiny. You'll hit a few enemies with this at best. So yeah, it's not a great set. Fungal Grotto 2 is a base game dungeon as well, and the keys are you use keys for shoulders anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't spend my money on this either. And it gives you max stamina, which is not great. I know I've got a max magicka there, but that's literally because I haven't. This account's like CP 160. I literally got like 2 keys and used whatever I could find. So yeah, I wouldn't really suggest this either. Like, it's okay on heavy attack builds, sure. But I mean, they're heavy attacking all the time. They're not heavy attacking once every 10 seconds anyway. And there are just way better sets than this anyway for heavy attack builds. Okay. Ember Shield, again, wouldn't really use this. This is from City of Ash 1 and 2. City of Ash 1 is mind-blowingly easy to do in this day and age. And this set, look, 6 seconds, you have to apply this all the time. And you have to consider that heavy attacks last a second. So you basically, for 5 of those seconds, you have free roam, sort of. But then the other second, you're just constantly heavy attacking. I guess this would be okay with Spawn of a Fella, but like, yeah. Relying on that resistance for those 6 seconds, like, you will probably mitigate more damage for that 1 second of blocking that you would otherwise heavy attack if you have this set, then the resistance would give you for damage mitigation anyway. Like, I'm serious when I say that time where you drop your block to do this heavy attack would probably cause you to take more damage than not getting this resistance and just remaining blocking as a tank. Like, blocking is so much better than just like heavy attacking and get a bit of resistance, because that's what is it, like 33,000 is 50%. There's like, what, 5% or something. It's like 5% damage reduction. I don't think it's worth it. And the flame damage is like so forgettable. But it is once every 1 second on multiple targets, so... But yeah, there's just so many better stats than this one. Martial Knowledge. This one's interesting. It's funny that all the... Like, it's max magicka, but then it talks about your stamina. This is a great support set for, like, doing group runs, but I wouldn't use this on my own, personally. But yeah, that extra 8%, it's like a non-named buff, so it can stack with all sorts of other stuff. So this set's actually really good, but this is a base game zone that I will admit getting jewelry in this zone is not. Actually, no. I'm pretty sure you get jewelry from the. Do you get jewelry from doing the Undercroft mines? I swear you do. You can get them from chests anyway, and like there's so many on guild stores out there. Yeah, I wouldn't like look at the cost on TTC. You can buy them on guild stores for like 30 grand. Like, why would you ever buy this for 100,000? That's my main gripe with this. So yeah, just don't even bother. It is a great set, but don't bother buying them from here. Ring of the Undaunted Infiltrator. This is a decent heavy attack build set. There are better options though. I would still use like Sergeant and Deadly, and like I'd still use like Order's Wrath over this, just on the basis that Order's Wrath you don't have to, because this is a dungeon set, right? You have to spend ages farming it. And if I had to farm sets, I would just farm Sergeants and then use that with Order's Wrath. The difference really isn't all that much. Or use Deadly if you can buy that. Deadly's expensive, but if you can get your hands on that, it's just super strong. That or the new one from the new DLC that's coming out that increases your damage to monsters as well. So yeah, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't get this, especially since with Sergeant you don't want to be running that on the armor. So if you do run a heavy attack build, you don't want to be running Jury with Undaunted Infiltrator anyway, because if you run Sergeants on, because Sergeants is the heavy attack set, right? Like Sergeants is the one that basically every build asks you to run, and for good reason. The issue with Sergeant is that it's heavy, so you don't want to be running that on the body because you lose damage if you do. So if you're going to run Undaunted Infiltrator, you can if you want, but you'd run medium armor, not Jury, because then it's unless obviously you're not running Sergeant, in which case probably wouldn't do a heavy tech build if I didn't have Sergeants. Vampire Lord, I fucking hate this set. Specific cases in PvP, this is quite a strong set because basically you can stack it with other sources of cost reductions and pretty much just not run out of resources using like certain vampirism things. But it's like it's very niche the way it works, and in any other case, you just forget about this set. The getting reduced vampire ability costs for anything in PvE is like so insignificant, and the negative effects are super harsh. Extra flame damage taken. There's so much flame damage out there, especially in PvP where this set is quite strong. But the regular ability costs do it for me. Like that's just so bad, because it already fucks your sustain enough, and just making it fuck it even more is just bad. I would personally love it if they just changed this set to it would remove all the negative effects of vampirism, especially now that they've nerfed the whole nerf vampirism to the ground. Aside from the stage 4 invisibility, everything else about vampirism just feels like you're nerfing yourself these days. Never used to be, but definitely nowadays. So yeah, personally, I hate this set, and I wish they would change it. But I understand that it does have some significance in PvP still. But those significance just feel so niche and so what is it? There's just such harsh negatives about it as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a PvPer, so they can give their influence on that. But I'm pretty sure this is just shit in PvE in general. Because the issue is, like, you look at the vampirism skills, Eviscerate, right? This is very powerful in PvP. I cannot argue with that. Same with Mistform if you use like Elusive Miss, and you can just keep spamming it, because it's basically just like Streak, but just like a non-stalk version. That won't really matter anymore with subclassing all that, I guess. But yeah, everything else is just kind of just forgettable. Blood Frenzy for ganking, I suppose, is good. But in PvE, it's just, especially like talking about endeavors, I wouldn't like this to cost less, because when I use this one, it's like, it's because I use it for the healing ones, and you want it to take off more health. But yeah, I suppose that's just being specific. But yeah, vampirism, like Vampire Lord set, wouldn't even look at it myself. Alright, so let's get into endeavors themselves. Stealing 10 items from the environment, killing reptiles, Undercroft Furnishings, Consumables Master Writ, and award medals in Battlegrounds. So this one here requires you to be at least level 50 in one of the 2 crafting lines that this one accounts for. The only one that would seem like it would work is enchanting. Doesn't actually work. I don't know why. You consume glyphs to put them on armor. It seems like it would be consumable, but I don't know. Dynamics for you. So yeah, only alchemy or provisioning work. Now I think there is a difference and some strengths and weaknesses related to both. With alchemy, the recipes often require materials that cost more than the provisioning ones, but the difference with those is you don't actually need any recipes to make the alchemy items, whereas with provisioning ones, you do. So if I go down here to these ones here, like for example, Velothi V Vintage Mobec as an example, you need that recipe in order to craft it. If you don't, you can't craft it, you can't do this writ. Whereas any of these alchemy writs that people have, these ones, no matter which one you get, as long as you have the materials for it, you can craft it. So in this example here, Unstoppable Restore Magicka, you can see what it requires. The only issue is some of these require Columbine, which is very expensive. Other ones require things like, well, these aren't actually too bad. Yeah, like that'd be a pretty good one, I think. It is expensive, but that's the issue with these. They're going to be expensive no matter what you do. So these, you're primarily just doing them for convenience. You're not doing them for cost effectiveness sake. Because yeah, these 3 here will be much better, I think, because they're all. This one you'll probably need to pay, but yeah, nowhere near as much as a consumable master Writ. So yeah, and then award medals and Battlegrounds. I'll just quickly explain this one. If you want to know how, someone fucking Colossus in the background there. If you want to know about where is it, the help menu? Yeah, here. So you go help. You type in medal, and as you can see here, it gives you all the information about what medals give how many points in each game mode. Now, probably the quickest way to get this sort of medals is to get a bunch of assists or killing blows, because each one's 100. But considering the unreliability of, like, you don't know how good the players you're going to be going up against are, you could just get a time where you just can't get any kills at all. You just can't get any medals. So it's quite common for you just have to do multiple of these in a go, and it just means that you'll be spending so much time doing this. By the time you even get into a battleground, you could probably do all 3 of these in that time. So I would just say skip this one too. Yeah, the only thing is you don't need any prerequisites to do this. You just need to be level 10. Whereas this one, you're probably going to need a little bit of gold to start with. But I'll just go through some ways you can get some gold easily to get one of these. There is one prerequisite also, but it's like, if you don't have the prerequisite for it, I would say like, it's like utterly... It's like one of the easiest things you could possibly do. So, alright, so just a little bit of prep before you do the rest of the endeavors, because I reckon, just like with yesterday's one, you want to do this one last, because you can do these 2, and then at any point you can just travel to your house at will, and then just do this one. So it just means you're spending less time running around later. So, in this case, you want a free house first, so you can get a house for free if you come to this spot here in Oridon, just northwest of the Wayshrine slightly. There'll be a lady here you can talk to. Once you exhaust the dialogue with her, she'll give you a house for free. The house you get depends on your alliance. If you go to the map section here, go to the houses tab, go to collected, the house that you have will show up here. It depends on your alliance. So if you're Old Mary, you'll get Mara's Kiss. If you're Ebonheart, you'll get Ebony Flask, and then if you're Daggerfall, you'll get Roseland. So and they're all the same. They're all exactly the same. And then you need a housing item. So what I would suggest you do is come to Mournhold and come into basically where the shrine is. If you don't have a Wayshrine here, either look up on housing tours Quantum Inderelia, or is it Quantum Inderelia? Yeah, Inderelia, or Flaming Nix Deluxe Array. So go to group, home tours, Browse Homes and look up one of those two. So Flaming Nick's Select Scary, this one. So all you have to do is travel inside, walk out the front door, like just exit, and then it'll take you straight to Mournhold. And then you just grab this Wayshrine and you can travel here at will. So you want to come to this location here, the door just in front of where these people are. There'll be an Ultima lady you can talk to here, Na Wawende. So open this menu up, and this replica soul gem is what you're looking for. As I said, it's a little bit of gold, but once you buy one of these, you can do any Undercroft Furnishing endeavor from this point on for the rest of the time. So that's all you need. You can buy some other stuff. The prerequisite for this is the Harborage achievement, which... the Harborage... this one. So you literally... all you have to do is you find the Harborage, talk to the Prophet, you learn about like the events starting the game. You don't even have to fight anything, you just listen to him talk for a while. So I would say most people have done this by now. But yeah, if you haven't already, just do that. But yeah, so that's all it requires. Now, it will cost a little bit of gold, as I said, getting this. So I'll show you some things you can do just to get yourself a little bit of gold. Because today, the Steal Items in Environment Endeavor is one of them. So you want to do this anyway. Alright, so what you want to do is come to a location that has a bunch of wardrobes and backpacks. This example here in the bank for Vocal Guard is a good one. Just make sure you go to Settings Gameplay first and take off Auto Loot Stolen Items, because you don't want to take one of these when it's not good. So open these up. Some of them will have white quality 40 gold sellable items. Some will have green ones. Some will have fuck all. So, nah, that's not anything useful. Just keep looking through. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, Faya Tapestry is a good example. So, just take that one. And so, you're just looking around for stuff like that. And so, as you can see, here's some stuff I prepared earlier. This is from the event that was on the other day. But, yeah, any of these, they sell for 100 gold each. So, what you can do is just run around, check these backpacks. Just don't take for them until you know there's something in them. That's good. So, let's keep going through. Because you can search them. As long as you don't take from them, that's when you get your bounty. Now, if you come in here, this room right here, there's some dresses in here that have some stuff, and there's nobody in here to see you take everything. So, yeah, you can see the Riddler Stavard there. So you can take stuff like that, and then you go to the fence. So, for example, the Vocal Guard Outlaws Refuge right here, you can come down here and just sell the stuff to the fences in there. And just make a little bit of gold that way. And all you need is like 5 items like that. If you can't find enough of that stuff, you can do 2 things. Either you can travel to the Wayshrine, travel to a different zone, because what that does is it resets all the wardrobes if you travel somewhere else. So what I would do is I'd travel to Glenumbra, go to this castle here and do the same thing in here. Just make sure if you do steal stuff, you just go stealth. But there's tons of wardrobes in this place that you can also check for stuff to sell. Or you could, in Vocal Guard, there's also one other thing you could do. I'll just show you. So if you come into a place like this, you can go into the corner when nobody's watching. Just take this, for example, and you can sell these to vendors. They're not worth much, but that's another thing you could do just to make some gold on the side. If you have Cloak, you can do this in front of people and they won't be able to notice. So as long as you're in Cloak, you can also do that pretty easily. But I would definitely go to places like there with the backpacks and stuff and check for 100 gold and 250 gold items, like the blue items, because they're worth a lot more. But yeah, you just need to do that for a little bit and you'll get enough gold to buy one of these. So yeah, that's what I'd suggest you do. Now, if you just want to steal stuff and you've already got the item or you just don't care about the gold, what you can do is come to, if you have Necrom, I'll show you the DLC one, and then there's another non-DLC option that'll give you as well. So come to Necrom. If you haven't been here before, you'll start with this Wayshrine. You just go up here and just make sure you have this Wayshrine unlocked. And you come into here, through this doorway, and it will take you to the Necromunda ways. So this spot here has tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of urns in it, and all of these urns you can take from, and it counts as a stealing from the environment. You can also sell this stuff and make the 500 gold as well, but the amount of gold per item is quite low in whenever you take from these urns, unless you get lucky, and like sometimes you can find like expensive ones, but it's pretty rare usually. So yeah, I wouldn't really bother if you want more gold. If you just want to do this as fast as possible, this way it's great. But yeah, I'll show you the basic one as well, just in case you don't have the DLC, because this requires you to have Necrom, this one here. So if you don't have this DLC, you can't access this area. So yeah, it's this spot here. Just got a little bit of a curve to the west in Necrom. I suppose you could also travel to this house as well, Journey to Lodgings, through home tours. But yeah, it's not a big deal if you don't. Alright, so the non-DLC option here is in Belkarth. Once you get this Wayshrine, you've got really easy access to this area. If you want to get this for the first time, again, we're going to go to our Trusty Dusty home tours, look up Elenir Private Arena. Travel to this house, do the same thing, just go outside, and it will take you about here. And you just go a little bit of a trick this way, and you'll easily get the Created One. Come to the Gem and Flask, go upstairs, and there'll be this section here full of shit that you can steal. There's nobody up here, so they can't see you steal all this stuff. So just steal as much stuff as you can until we get the Endeavor done. So there's also a rabbit in there, just make sure you grab that, because people tend to miss that one. There's a tomato crate, there's some greens baskets, got the crate, got the millet sacks. So yeah, you can see there's tons and tons of stuff that you can steal. And even if that's not enough, there are barrels here, crates outside, and then you jump down here, and there's also another few crates and barrels down here. So it's just shit tons of stuff. And if you want to sell this stuff to make some gold, or just get it out of your inventory, the Outlaws Refuge is literally right here. So just come through that spot there in the fence, and the fence is right here. We'll just go nuts, sell everything we got. I'll launder those lockpicks though, because those will be handy. If you didn't find enough stuff, if you're like super duper unlucky and there wasn't enough stuff to steal in there, because sometimes things don't spawn, it's normal. But yeah, you can just leave the Outlaws Refuge, because that resets everything in there. You just go back inside and do that as many times as you need. And if you want to sell stuff that you've laundered, if you didn't have enough space to get everything, this merchant here, you can sell the rest of the stuff to that launderer. Sorry, you can sell everything that you laundered to this person and get rid of it in your inventory. And that way you didn't spend any gold in the end. Okay, so next up, I'll talk about reptiles. So there's a couple of places here that are good for reptiles. A thing I think a lot of people don't know, because I just found out about this myself. So Kagutis here, these big boys, these actually count as reptiles. Bada bing. So that actually frees up a lot, because I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm going to talk about them now. So you can find tons of Kaguti and crocodiles here. Damn good. If you want easy access, again, Home Tours is your friend. Use Home Tours to get to Anvil Domicile. Just leave, and you're right next to the Wayshrine. So yeah, just come down to this area here, and you'll just find so many fucking Kagutis, so many crocodiles all over this place. Because the crocodiles live in the water, and the Kagutis live on land. So you've also got snakes as well. Do snakes count as reptiles? I haven't actually tested these. Okay, they do. Cool. Cool. In Shadowfen, this area here had the Kagutis and a couple of crocodiles, especially through here. There's mostly dregs in this area though. But yeah, this area, and then you can go down Forsaken Hamlet. This area here also has tons of stuff, and this area here too. So if I come down here, you just take a righty, come down here. Ignore the lamias, but if we come over here, you can see crocodiles. And there you go, so you can see more Kagutis. So this area over here, just to the west of Forsaken Hamlet. So we've got this area here, and then this area here. Now there's one other place I suggest you look for reptiles, if you can. I think it's better than using this area, because you can just travel directly to it once you unlock it. And that is Blessed Crucible. It's a dungeon in the Rift. So in the Blessed Crucible, as soon as you get in, cross the bridge over the lava, and these 6 Durzogs will become hostile. Let's get yourself ready. Now, they aren't the weakest thing in the world, but they're not tough by any means. They're a little bit tougher than Overland stuff, but not ridiculous. So yeah, kill those 6, and that's your reptiles done. So getting access to Blessed Crucible, once you unlock it, you can travel here from any wayshrine in the game. So, but obviously the annoying bit is unlocking it for the first time. So you'll probably be familiar with this. So this house here, once again, fucking home tours, man. It's so bloody helpful. Use home tours to travel to this house. Go a little bit east, down here. And once you get close to the border to Stonefalls, once you get to this spot, outside of Fullhelm Fort, there'll be these little bits of stairways over here. And you just travel up here, and Blessed Crucible is in this spot here. So once you unlock this, like once you get to this spot, you can now travel to this dungeon from anywhere via Wayshrine. So from this point, it's just really easy to get 5 reptiles at a time. If it was more than that, though, I would probably suggest you use the places in Shadowfen, like I showed you. Or just do this, leave, wait 5 minutes for it to reset, and then do it again. Right, so now we'll do the actual housing stuff. So just pick one of your houses that you got before, or just one of your own houses. So normally I would say before you buy one of these items, just check if your house has any Undercroft furnishings first. But I reckon there wouldn't be many, if any. Let's have a look. Do I have any already? Yeah, no, I don't. Okay, so we got our soul gem. So what we want to do is go housing editor at the bottom right there, browse at the bottom. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's retrieve, idiot. So yeah, place and then Undercroft replica soul gem. And now you can place it anywhere. I'll just place it right here. Now, what I like to do is at the bottom left, you can see it says undo. Just press that and then press redo. And that will count as placing it again. You can't pick it up and place it. That doesn't actually work. It has to go into your inventory and back out, and undo redo is the quickest way for that. Now what I would suggest you do is just have it somewhere, and so I'll just put it away. And what I normally do is I go into my house in the corner somewhere and just place all my, as you can see, just place all the different types of furnishings here. So whenever this endeavor comes up, I can just run in here, grab whichever one I need, because this is I believe that's a... Oh, it's parlor, yeah. So that's a parlor item. This is the structure item we had the other day. This is a